Obviously, I uploaded a very similar video to this early on, almost 2 years ago at this point, but I wanted to cover this topic again. And so, why does Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is pretty young during the time of the prequel trilogy, look so old in the original trilogy? I mean, we have this young guy here from the original trilogy, and then we have this really old guy in the original trilogy. And the obvious answer to that is in the original trilogy, Obi-Wan Kenobi was played by Alec Guinness, whereas in the prequel trilogy, Obi-Wan was played by McGregor. And obviously McGregor is a lot younger than Guinness. So that's why, because the actor in the original trilogy was a lot older than the actor in the prequel trilogy. So that's the obvious answer. And obviously, they were still running through ideas for the prequel trilogy, and then eventually this is what they came up with, and so this is the way it was cast, and they're both excellent actors, and so, it's just the way it turned out. So that's just the real answer. But the in-universe answer, it obviously has to do with the twin sons of Tatooine, and how the twin sons were very bad for Obi-Wan Kenobi's skin, and we know the son that we have in real life, can be very harmful to people's skin, and being out in the sun too long is not good for you. So imagine in the Star Wars universe on Tatooine, where there are twin sons on Tatooine. Imagine just being out there for a little bit. Imagine how bad it must be for your skin. So that's probably why that factors into why Obi-Wan Kenobi aged so terribly in 19 years. Like why he looks like he's, to put it nicely, why he looks so old. But the other explanations are, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi was through some horrible stress and went through some horrible times. And his best friend, his apprentice, the guy he considered to be his brother, Anakin Skywalker, turned to the dark side and became the Sith Lord Darth Vader and helped exterminate the Jedi. So obviously going through such a traumatic experience is gonna make you age physically. Like, that's just the way it is. When you're under a lot of stress and bad things happen to you, you can age pretty quickly. And of course, the other explanation is that in addition to the thing about Anakin, there's a thing with Luke and how he's constantly protecting Luke from any foreseeable danger or unforeseeable danger, and he's constantly just making sure that everything is going well. And so when he's doing all of that, when he has so many responsibilities, obviously it's a lot harder to get done. He did it pretty well, but things are a lot harder to do, so that responsibility also took a toll on his physical appearance. And just in real life too, a lot of people just age terribly. Like, a lot of people who are, let's say, 60 look like they're 90. A lot of people who are maybe 27 look like they're 37. A lot of people who are 37 look 50. And then of course you have the reverse effect where people who are much older look younger. Like, for instance, Bernie Sanders is 81, but he sort of looks 70. Noam Chomsky is 94, but he looks 82. So people are just they're going to either look a lot older than they are, or they're going to look a lot younger than they are, or they're going to look the exact same age as they are. Like, for instance, Donald Trump is 76, but he looks 76, so there's that. Barack Obama is 61, I believe, but he looks like he's more like 72. So Barack Obama and Donald Trump, as I've said, were horrible, horrible presidents. And we can go through the policies, but I do that in other videos, not in Star Wars videos. But anyway, going back to the Star Wars video that we're doing right now, Obi-Wan Kenobi is probably just one of those people who aged pretty terribly. Like, he just looks older than he actually is. And the mind-blowing fact is that in the Star Wars universe, Obi-Wan Kenobi is estimated to be around 57 years old at the time of his death. So when he died, he was 57. When he became one with the Force, I should say, when he became a Force ghost, he was 57 years old. And in real life, many 57-year-olds have white hair and white beards, so I mean, being 57 years old and having white hair and white beard, that's very normal in real life. So Alec Guinness is perfect for that part. So it's not really even controversial. Like old like people in their 50s have white beards and white hair. It's just the way it is. I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them do. And if we go on, and of course, so Obi-Wan Kenobi was about 38 in Revenge of the Sith and 57 in A New Hope. So many 38-year-olds look like McGregor, and many 57-year-olds look like Guinness. Like they look the way they're supposed to. So the actor in the prequel trilogy looks like a guy in his 30s. The actor in the original trilogy looks like a guy in his 50s. Like, so what's the big deal? And to top it off, in real life, Alec Guinness was born in 1914. A New Hope was released in 1977. So in real life, Alec Guinness was 63 years old. So the fact that he's playing a 57-year-old character, I mean, it's pretty close. It's close enough. I mean, remember the Golden Girls, Rose Nyland and Dorothy Zbornak are supposed to be 55-year-olds, but in real life, they're actors. Betty White and B. Arthur were actually 63. So they were 63-year-olds playing 55-year-olds. I mean, that's a little bit far off, but close enough, I'd say, I guess. So same deal with Alec Guinness. He's a 63-year-old playing a 57-year-old, so that's pretty close. And McGregor in the prequel trilogy, he was born in 1971, and Revenge of the Sith was in 2005, so he was 34 years old. So he's a 34-year-old playing an 38-year-old. So, I mean, the actors themselves were also just close to the age that their characters were supposed to be. So I just provided a bunch of obvious explanations for a question that doesn't really need explaining. So there you have it. Obi-Wan Kenobi looks old because he went through a very traumatic experience, as well as he has a lot of responsibilities and he's under a lot of stress, and he just aged horribly. And but he also looks the way he is supposed to look for his age.